So we've got ourselves De Jong, Luuk De Jong as well. He's a 4-star, 5-star PSV striker. He's got himself the acrobatic, power shot, and also aerial. Now, we've obviously playing with Victor, the Swedish international. He was unreal. But I'm looking at De Jong and thinking, is 150,000. He's mostly lengthy with an engine. I'm very interested to see how this card plays out because if you go back a little bit, De Jong has been consistent with his Eredivisie team of the seasons. He's always been a very decent card. Could this be the same? Now, in terms of stats, when we go with the engine, 94 pace, we've already got the 95 shooting, fantastic. It's mainly long shot and penalties that take it down, not a problem. We've obviously got the pass in there, pretty decent himself. We've got to go with the engine just to get that agility that little bit more. Balance at 98 is fine, great composure, very good strength, good head and accuracy. I mean, he stands quite well. He's 6'2", same as Victor. He's a 4'5", same as Victor. Doesn't have the rapid plus, which could be okay. He's still mostly lengthy, which is going to be the interesting factor. But he is a 10 for the price right now. So let's jump into De Jong, see what he can do for 150, and hopefully get some champs wins with him. Into his feet. Oh, okay. It's not the ball that I was looking for R9. I was kind of going for his feet as well, to be fair to him. There he is. Little dip. One more. Oh, it was to R9. What on earth? Just a little chip, please. Into his feet. Look for the R9. Oh, can we get the setup back? Takes the touch. Finds the shot. And it's an easy goal. Beautiful. And I think it's not that impressive for a team of the season striker to really be able to score from in the box, kind of around the box. I think every team of the season striker should be able to do that. Consistency-wise will be what does he bring to the table as well. We've obviously got R9 into Vinny, and it's just a second one. Lovely setup, nice and easy finish, but it is what else do they bring? Because we know that they can score. 97 finishing is not going to be that he can't score in the box. Like, that's just not happening. Take that run. What I am interested in is, how does the lengthy work? Like, what are we really looking at here? Can we get a bit of pace? Can we get a decent kind of run off? Obviously, he's got the acrobatics, so crossing might not be a bad shout for him. Take the touch, take the Vidic. Nearly again. Where is he in the box? Is he right at the back there? He is right at the back. Why? If he's there, I need him like front and center if I'm going to get anything acrobatic from him. Little one into Vidic, who doesn't want the ball. Every time he looks like he doesn't. We're going to find him in here. Little turn. Can we get a little bit of skill? No, just not quick enough on the reactions. But it's like runs like this. Like how quick, the mostly lengthy really should put him in that top category of running. And that's going to be the interesting. The one-on-ones, the kind of setting him through on goal. What is that like? Because that's the mostly lengthy that we like from centre-backs because they do catch over time, which is the perfect bit. Whether you'd want the controlled, but the rapid is where it's going to be really a factor now. When we've seen the Haalands, the Lewandowskis with it, it does have an effect. Of course it does. Why would it not? So is that what's basically making it now even more OP, or can you still rock it with not that? As we try and find him in here, can we get this run? That's where he needs it. It's beautiful. Power shot. Oh, the aim was so bad. Good ball into him. Bit of pace. Gabriel's going to catch him, which is just unheard of. It's a great ball in, though. Diani, there we go. Knew full well that he was either going to cover the run or cover R9. Soon as he stepped, you knew he was pressing B. Get this in. Top left. I feel like that's not going to be the right option. Oh, it's a great ball. Oh, R9. Let's go. Whipped pass into the aerial. Oh, can he slot? Oh, can he slot? It's absolutely brilliant. Like I say, having R9 is an absolute cheat code with anybody, but he does everything himself there. It's a great ball roll. It's great composure. It's just nicely weighted, and everything's going right for him in this. Good ball. Oh, De Jong's there every time. And he's got... Oh, I mean, it looked a good challenge, but I think if he followed through, that might have been a penalty, to be fair. Into his feet, lays off Vinny nicely. Oh, that's just... Oh, Gabriel. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's a beautiful block from him. I thought I was home and dry. Oh, this has got to be in, surely. Sees the pass, sees the header. Check with an absolute beauty. Fair enough. So going into the overall for him then. In terms of De Jong, standard. And to be fair, he's decent enough. I don't think he's necessarily anything crazy. I thought you've got to give him a try because sometimes these cards just pop out of nowhere. And honestly, some of the best team of the seasons I've used over the course of like the past 2-3 years of them really doing minors is literally them random Nunez, Victor sort of strikers, sort of midfielders. They tend to do really well because they are unheard of. You kind of don't have that expectation. If you picked a De Jong up or you picked up a Harry Kane, I know full well what the expectation of someone like Kane would be in comparison to someone like De Jong. And that's just down to the card itself. There's not a lot you can do about that. It's like picking up an Mbappe versus an R9. You expect them to do great things, and if they don't every single game, you label them as trash, and that's the whole point of it. It's literally the whole point of expectation. So it is an interesting one to see. He is most definitely cheap enough to be able to not have that expectation, because obviously 100 and something K, he more than likely will go down to absolutely nothing as well. So you are going to be able to pick him up at like 30, 40k at some point, and that's going to be absolutely fine because you're not going to lose anything there. That's going to be absolutely nothing. Whereas when you look at the Victors of the world, they're coming in at 1.4 mil. You're going to need to have a little bit of a return, because not only that, you are more than likely losing some coins because they will drop as it goes by, no doubt. And that is going to be absolutely crucial for you to get your money back. So in terms of De Jong, especially in the Eredivisie, I think it's a great card, especially if you are making that Eredivisie card, because you look at someone like Hanko, 62,000 he's coming in at, and I definitely put him in my like top 10, top 15 centre-backs in the game. He is absolutely insane as a 92 centre-back coming out of the Eredivisie. You've got Verman, Teze, who was free, Dest, who was in the, was it the live or the first mixed? Then you've obviously got De Jong, and I think that is everybody bar from like a lot of heroes, a few showdowns. So you've got quite a good selection of cards, which is always nice. And I think when I was looking at, who was I looking at? Bellingham. I was thinking that. I was like, I know the league. I couldn't remember the name. When you look at like the championship and you think, okay, well, if we're not having the minor leagues, we're having the mix. I believe we should have potentially 2 more mix, I want to say, because I don't know if they're going to do the best of the mix. So you have obviously Serie A next week. Then it goes into the Ultimate. Normally with the Ultimate, we have Rest of World. So I don't know. I've not actually checked. Are we having a Rest of World, or is it just another mixed? Or is it like the Ultimate Team of the Season and we have the Ultimate Mixed Team of the Season, if you know what I mean? I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see. I reckon the Ultimate Mixed probably sounds better. But when it comes to not having the Eredivisie as a minor, you could argue that, to be fair, you've kind of been shafted a little here, because normally you get, 8 to 11 players at times? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, depending on where your league is, I'd kind of either be annoyed or not, depending on what you actually want from the actual team of the season. But in terms of De Jong, I do think he puts up some good numbers. He's most definitely that kind of striker that you get if you are really low on coins sort of thing, but you still need a team of the season. And now he's not the only one, most definitely. I think the controlled factor of him is really good, but he definitely isn't the only striker for that sort of value. When we look at, like, say we go 250, because I think that at this point is a pretty decent level for a striker. There we go. He is coming in with the likes of Aubameyang at 229. We then go a bit further down. You got Boniface at 165, not helped with the Bayer Leverkusen SBC, I can tell you that for free. De Jong's up there himself. You then have a Zaha, who's more winger. You then got someone like an Nkunku, Bunny Shaw, very good striker in herself as well. You go further down, we'll probably find a Watkins, a Podolski, who was fantastic, Schürrle at 95, Malin, who's can be a striker, normally is a striker. There's a lot of good names, and to be honest, this is the benchmark benchmark, and this is why I always try out these random strikers. Now, Balotelli is tried and tested. The 86 was phenomenal. Once he eventually lost that level of kind of being at that medium where I'm like, okay, I can kind of use him. Like, we're not looking at 95s. Once we started to get into the 90 strikers, unfortunately, the 86 was just not going to have enough. But now we've got the 92. It's a fantastic card. He is unreal. So it's kind of why you got to try out some of these cheaper cards just to see what they could actually do. But I do think decent card nonetheless. Very decent one if you are looking for a cheap and affordable striker. Obviously, you're going to go for more of the engine, if anything, and it will keep him mostly lengthy, which is always a nice bonus. Great shooting, great strength, great heading. Everything about him is a decent level striker.